All right, up next, Brooke Smith. And Brooke's posse right here. It says here she does not like to speak about herself in the third person. She uses her craft to reflect her passionate, individualistic, and creative nature. She has an appetite for new experiences. She likes walks on the beach and, no, I'm sorry, I'm reading the wrong. Her appetite for new experiences is rivaled only by her appetite for bean, rice, and sour cream tacos. She is a native of San Antonio, and having the opportunity to flourish in the community she so loves is a great source of pride, innovation, motivation. Please welcome Brooke Smith!
Did you read that beforehand, Randy Beamer? I don't think so. All right, I'm going to try to channel my brother's stage presence here. All right. When you aspire to become a successful chef, one of two routes can be taken, if not both. You can go to culinary school, or you can become a stagiaire. Either way, you'll probably end up a regular at your local bar. A stagiaire is an unpaid intern working in the kitchen for the exchange of knowledge and experience, while culinary school teaches you basic fundamentals, including how to iron a perfect tea in your chef coat, or the essential skill of ice carving. I mean, that girl deserves a medal, right? Though I did attend culinary school, I've also taken on the role of a stagiaire in many kitchens, especially as a young line cook seeking employment. Probably the most important part of being a fixture in the culinary community is developing your ego while denying completely that it exists in the first place. Equally necessary is the ability to squash the ego of everyone around you. So naturally, the first day of a stagiaire is often spent dicing shallots or garlic for the entire 10-hour shift. Because most staging is done as a precursor to being hired, your skill set and patience will often be tested. Can you cut it? Pardon the pun. I've been fortunate enough to be employed by a generous and progressive restaurateur who is committed to developing his employees by any means necessary. In fact, he's made room in our budget to send us out, to procure knowledge and bring it back home, to utilize it in everyday practice. Thankfully, the culinary community is quite generous in sharing wisdom and knowing how like-minded individuals staying have proven instrumental to continuing my education. NOLA, being the second home to me in the staging experience, is a rich culture filled with bayous of butter, tipplers, and the Best Restaurant Group. The John Best Empire has a total of 12 restaurants under its reign, each employing the finest chefs in the country, including James Beard nominee for Best Chef Southwest, Chef Steve McHugh. Though there are similarities in each of these restaurants to allow consumers the comfort knowing that it is the best restaurant, each of the 12 restaurants has a different concept depending on who he collaborates with. The opportunity is generally afforded to chefs within the restaurant group working hard to climb the totem pole. It is every chef's dream to one day be presented with their own space and full reign over the menu. By investing in his employees, Best has repeatedly made this dream come a reality. Another rising giant in New Orleans in the food scene is the Link Restaurant Group. They have 3 kitchens and bakery and a giant drying room, all of which share a 1 square block building. Through Butcher and the 4 other restaurants, they create and sell a mass amount of dried and cured meats. This was an excellent internship for me because charcuterie is in the forefront of my focus at the moment. Wink, wink. Breaking down whole pigs, peeling the faces off of their skulls, making it look like they were talking to each other. This is priceless material, guys. Knowledge that I couldn't live without. Speaking of being a descendant of 2 Cajun coon asses, I jumped on the opportunity to learn boudin, the best of the best, my childhood Sunday breakfast. Nothing can touch it. And I'm off to Chicago, train hopping, people watching, and asking directions from everyone. Just because we have really smart phones doesn't mean that one human being can't help another human being out, right? During my stages, I spent time with 2 different charcuterie-focused establishments with entirely different productions, both incredibly on point, but scale and methods varying. Tet Charcuterie was a smaller production done by a single man, solely dedicated to the shark program. His business is a prime example of having creativity with limited items, as well as making consistent staple items. He has a small glass room directly off of the line, basically a display case. Oh my God, I'm so far behind. I have few stages that have helped me shape my career by simply showing me where I didn't want to go with my food. Though the passion and the drive that goes into this, his food is mesmerizing and intense. It is a style of cooking that doesn't agree with me. I soaked up the knowledge and I took the notes. And I can refer to these notes whenever I want to make a tiny little dot on a hot plate without the substance losing its shape. And that's cool, I guess. It's just not really my thing. Now, I do admire this style of cuisine for sure. These plates, they are art. I love these photos. I took them, and I'm not even a photographer. Being open-minded and receptive is a priceless quality to staging. Not only do you allow yourself the chance to exercise, but you're open to the, oh shit. Whether it be the road you end up taking is just an enormous waste of time. Oh my God, I'm fucking up. The ability to make an educated decision on my career path has been a blessing. Many aspiring chefs have 86 themselves from the culinary arts. Despite having all the talent and drive needed, perhaps the 90 hours at $7.25 an hour, or the chef doesn't let them have the opportunity to have creativity. But 25% of the students I attended this culinary school with dropped out in the first month. But the best part of the industry is the people. The culture is defined by a community of talented chefs passing along their scripture in order to improve the American diet. We are all eager to open the door to anyone who has the drive to educate themselves and commit to the idea that everyone should know how to feed themselves with their own hands. Each of these goofy people has been logged in my phone. I reach out with questions and always afforded a prompt response, creating a web of connections, broadening my personal culinary network. I am grateful and proud to have worked alongside such inventive, kind, and ambitious people. Chef Philip Mariano, previously with Chef Beshes Dominica, has received a tall honor of being named executive chef of the new Josephine Estelle in the Ace Hotel of downtown New Orleans. This style of internship has helped me become better at my job, and I believe that it is applicable in a realm outside of the culinary arts. If more employers were willing to invest in San Antonio's youth, the next generation would kill it. Go Spurs, go!
It was awesome. Whoa, stay here for just a second. Just a second. That was awesome. Fuck it. We'll do it live. I didn't say that, by the way.
The slides
I did
me
not
up,
say the word. Okay. So, have you always wanted to be a chef?
I wanted to be a lawyer to begin with.
And it's a natural.
Yeah.
So,
This bitch likes to argue.
whoa! All right, let's do this now. So, I'm guessing you're not vegan with the pig stuff.
Fuck no.
And you're not kosher.
No.
No.
Although, you know.
Who was the guy that was sleeping on that grease trap or whatever that was?
That was the French Quarter, New Orleans.
Oh.
I think the timing might have been wrong.
Oh, okay. And there are people out here that might want to get into the business. I was surprised to hear that so many people drop out of culinary school. Why do you think that is, and what would you tell these people that might want to get into it?
Oh, geez. I think that a lot of people that try or go into culinary school without having prior experience find that it's more of a fast-paced, demanding job than anticipated and realize that maybe it's just not for them. My parents were smart. They said, before I pay for your expensive education, we're going to make you work in a restaurant for at least a year. So they did that, and I said, yeah, I'm ready. They sent me off, and good thing for them.
You know, and this also reminds me, it's time for a beer break. So why don't you... No. Anyway, take a break for 20 minutes, have a beer, warm each other up. Give it up for this chef, Brooke Smith!